We obviously know all about his fast food fandom, how he loves the McDonald's and the Diet Cokes. We know that he doesn't do any exercise because he's written about it in one of his books, where he said that his philosophy is that, you have a certain amount of energy, and if you do any exercise, then you lose your energy. So it's not very good for you.
Donald Trump is alive, contrary to rumours that spread online over the weekend. Because, in fairness, it was unusual. He hadn't been seen in public for a couple of days. Now, thousands of posts were shared across the social media platform X. There were the hashtags "Where is Trump?" and "Trump died." But just a couple of hours later, pictures emerged of the US president, very much still with us, arriving at a golf club. Harriet Alexander is a journalist in New York and joins us now. Hello, Harriet.
Hello.
Now, Biden disappeared from the public eye for days when he was president, and we didn't say much because he wasn't so front and centre of all our lives. But there is no doubt that Trump makes himself so visible. So when he disappears for a while, people are going to talk, aren't they?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, actually, one of the most powerful things I thought that was said on Joe Biden's campaign trail was when Barack Obama said, do you know, if Joe is in the White House when he was campaigning first time round, if Joe is in the White House, some days you might not even hear from him. And coming after a sort of deluge of Donald Trump's first term, that sounded quite refreshing. So, yes, Biden was not seen every day, not by any stretch of the imagination, but Trump has this hold over the American imagination. So any absence, I mean, even a few hours, people start to wonder what he's up to.
Yeah, well, it's the Trump show. And let's be honest, we are all watching it. The vice president, J.D. Vance, didn't really help matters because he said this in a TV interview with USA Today.
President is in incredibly good health. He's got incredible energy. And while most of the people who work around the president of the United States are younger than he is, I think that we find that he actually is the last person who goes to sleep. He's the last person making phone calls at night, and he's the first person who wakes up and the first person making phone calls in the morning. So yes, things can always happen. Yes, terrible tragedies happen, but I feel very confident the President of the United States is in good shape, is going to serve out the remainder of his term and do great things for the American people. And if, God forbid, there's a terrible tragedy, I can't think of better on-the-job training than what I've gotten.
OK, J.D. Vance probably not doing a lot to ease Trump fans' fears. But it is a bit bizarre, Harriet, isn't it, when J.D. Vance says how fit the president is. He can't dodge the reality, which that he doesn't look fit. He's nearly 80. He's got the mysterious bruise on his hand. He's overweight. We know he has this other condition, which I know is not uncommon at all, but the one that makes his ankles swell up. Surely not even his greatest fan can continue to say that, quotes, he looks fit.
Yes, and I mean, Donald Trump, by anyone else's standards, would be, on a pretty ruinous lifestyle choice. We obviously know all about his fast food fandom, how he loves the McDonald's and the Diet Cokes. We know that he doesn't do any exercise because he's written about it in one of his books, where he said that his philosophy is that, you have a certain amount of energy, and if you do any exercise, then you lose your energy. So it's not very good for you. He's angry all the time, and he doesn't get a lot of sleep. We know he's doing all these late night phone calls. So, that is not anyone else's recipe for vitality and strength and efficiency. But for Donald Trump, he's 79. He's the oldest president ever inaugurated. And he's pretty lively. He's pretty strong, it seems. And on Sunday, when all of this speculation was mounting, it obviously got to him because he tweeted he had never felt better in all my life, all in capitals, of course.
Yeah, I mean, that won't be the truth either, will it? Because I very much doubt that at the age of 79, I'll be feeling better than I've ever felt in my life. I mean, it's a deeply suspect statement, surely.
Right, and it comes after, as you pointed out, J.D. Vance, who was the third youngest ever vice president. He's only 41. He was 40, Vance, when he was sworn in. So only John Breckinridge, who was 36, and Richard Nixon, who was 40 and several days younger. Those are the only two that were younger than Vance when he was sworn in. So Vance, one of the youngest, Trump, the oldest. The contrast is pretty marked. And there's a lot of speculation about Vance being the anointed heir. I don't think he's done himself any favors with those remarks. And yes, you're absolutely right that there's no way that Trump is feeling in his best form ever. Although, he has had some quite significant wins on the policy front. So I suppose that certainly buoys him.
Yeah, okay. And the Pentagon Pizza Index. Now, this is something I confess I didn't know anything about. It does sound intriguing. And that was helping to fuel all these wild rumours at the weekend. What is it?
So it's a fascinating thing that actually has been noted way back to Cold War times. The Soviets apparently had people around the Pentagon who were monitoring when there was a surge in pizza orders in the pizzerias around the Pentagon, because that would suggest that people were working late night, and they were very busy with something that was about to be dramatic. And I know it sounds like nonsense, but there actually has been some previous examples of this. In August 1990, the CIA ordered in 21 pizzas, which is a new record, and that was hours before Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait. And interestingly, this year, on June the 12th, before Israel launched its attacks on Iran, there was another surge in pizza orders. On Friday, just gone Friday, there was a 303% spike for one pizzeria, Pizzato Pizza, which is the only one open after midnight. So make of that what you will.
Well, people are going to make something of it. I mean, in reality, if democracies continue to elect the very elderly, then this kind of speculation is just inevitable. The real question, I suppose, is why isn't there some sort of rule banning the over 70s from running for these incredibly stressful offices?
Right. I mean, and during the election, so many people were saying, you wouldn't be appointed as the CEO of any major company at that age. It just wouldn't happen. Nikki Haley, when she was campaigning against Trump, she said that there should be an age limit. It's relevant for presidents, but it's also really relevant for members of Congress, because we've had several cases recently, people like Dianne Feinstein, and Chuck Grassley is very old, 89. We have senators who are very old, who are obviously not able to do that job. In the case of Dianne Feinstein, it was really awful just watching her forget names and forget details, yet she was still there. And so it's certainly a topic that people are aware of. But, funnily enough, the people with the power to change it are the ones in Congress, and they show no signs of doing so.
Yeah, that's interesting. Now, it's Labour Day in the States today, isn't it? So what is President Trump doing?
Well, we haven't seen or heard of him so far. We know that on Saturday he was at his golf course. I would imagine he's watching television. That's normally how he spends a lot of his time. And he's got those awkward scenes today, doesn't he, of the summit with Xi Jinping, with Narendra Modi, with Vladimir Putin. He's not going to like that very much. So that's not going to do the blood pressure any good. But he's having a fairly quiet day today.
OK, well, if he sends out for a pizza, I don't know what that's going to do to the old Pentagon Pizza Index, or indeed pizza indexes anywhere else. Thank you very much. That's Harriet Alexander, who is a journalist in New York.